NASA gave a fundamental knowledge that Pluto isn't what you think. What is NASA proposing here? Are they inferring the latest revelations from the New Horizons space probe, which shows that odd things are occurring on Pluto's surface? One of the most dangerous pictures for sure shows something that appears to drift across the outer layer of Pluto. This raises disturbing questions about whether some kind of high-level dark life exists on this faraway world, or are we dealing with an effectively recognized geological brand name? Pluto may be barely anything, but the accounts it holds to tell are huge and, furthermore, stacked with surprises. At the point when Pluto's planetary status was revoked in 2006, scientists were ignorant of the data from the New Horizons probe, which had only just arrived at Pluto after years. Since then, we have realized that there is more to this smaller object than was expected. How did cosmologists truly come to deny this planet, which we have all in some way grown up with? Everything was going on with a real planet. It had been that way after the discovery of several other small planets in the Kuiper Belt. They considered that we really needed a limit for what is a planet and what is a dwarf planet or trans-Neptunian object. How did astronomers deny Pluto? It scored points for its size and round shape, but the planet shares its orbit with several other things. The orbit is therefore not considered to be perfect, and this was the defense for why Pluto was not commonly associated with the other massive planets in the planetary system. Many people on Earth think this is a shame, and this decision by space specialists caused disappointment among people overall. Pluto, now not a planet, was a dangerous thought for some. The fact that this small, crazy planet has so many fans on Earth prompted letters of protest to NASA from prominent scientists who supported the minimization. Honestly, even state-run organizations got letters from residents requesting Pluto to be a planet again. This planethood had been with us since the 1930s and was a critical part of a group of 9 planets. It was like a cutting-edge idea. In 2015, when New Horizons sent us the first real picture, the Pluto-Earth mover the planet showed us its charming face. Imagine it. It was the first real image of Pluto. If you've seen the planet on sheets or in school materials before, they were creative depictions, not real pictures. Pluto defied even the truly verified pictures of Pluto from the Hubble telescope, offering a clearer perspective on its surface in a manner that New Horizons was allowed to photograph the little one as it really is. Amazing, very well arranged, and of course, rich with a heart. From that point forward, the planet on the outer edge of the planetary system has gained significantly more fans. Perhaps space experts will change their viewpoints one day, and we will get Pluto back. The main guaranteed pictures of Pluto blew everyone's mind. It was a treasured moment when the first data from the New Horizons probe arrived at mission control in 2015. Everybody present knew that they were going to see a planet for the first time, one that everyone was somehow familiar with yet had never seen up close. The computers on Earth gathered this captivating picture from immense amounts of individual pieces and pixels. What the probe revealed about Pluto was a discovery that completely turned our understanding of this distant planet on its head. Pluto is altogether more changed, generally more arranged, and essentially more alive than planetary researchers had previously perceived. In addition, the little planet appeared to be shrouded in pleasant features and maybe even significantly more regular eccentricities that nobody had expected. With each new piece that New Horizons allowed, the faint, stupefying world in the darkness of the Kuiper Belt turned into something significant that showed such an overflow of life that it blew specialists' minds. Increasingly stunning geological phenomena opened up before the experts. Instead of the normal freezing and cratered dead-zoned land, Pluto turned out to be an intriguing place with extraordinary pieces of ice, deep gullies, and smooth, cold surfaces. It demanded an extremely long time for the interminable assessment, data, photos, and revelations to make the long journey from Pluto to Earth. Since 2015, we have been flabbergasted essentially a time or two with new captivating viewpoints of Pluto. One of these perspectives is walking on Pluto's surface. It's astonishing. This moving picture streamed in the media in 2016 at any rate. What could you imagine seeing here? It appears to be like an individual is walking across an amazing honeycomb-shaped snow float. You can genuinely see ice honeycomb landforms here, but unlike on Earth, these frozen surfaces are not made of water but of nitrogen and methane. Researchers recognized the shocking thing as a dirty piece of ice, which seems to be floating over the surface of the ice-covered plain. The large block of ice is, in fact, made of incredibly solid nitrogen. These particularly looking landforms revealed something very wonderful to the researchers. They now believe that there is a nitrogen supply several kilometers beneath Pluto's surface where the solid blocks form geographical advancements within the planet, pushing these blocks upwards and making the honeycombs and fields like the apparently wandering mountains. This points to a warm center of the planet, and this discovery is a hint that could have wide implications for how we may interpret Pluto. It is certainly more interesting than previously perceived. Land development from heat, alongside changes in surface plans, shows a sort of aliveness that suggests we have misjudged Pluto. This smaller object shows some thought as well as fire in it, and that would without a doubt suggest that there are pockets of liquid inside Pluto that seem to be like oceans or magma. The geography team of the New Horizons mission, led by William McKinnon, even compared the internal presence of the small planet to an incredibly large scale, like Hudson Bay in Canada. Virtual experiences showed that this striking scene developed over hundreds of years and is still amazingly unique today. Could you see the specific X on the right beneath the stew mass? This plan was probably made by sublimation, a process in which a substance changes directly from a solid to a gaseous state, and the liquid stage evaporates. These cycles occur due to the extreme temperatures on Pluto, jumbling geological cycles, and natural eccentricities in a dead world. Christmas in the snow on Pluto. Does that sound insane to you? Well, it's a reality. Pluto truly is a secret. The New Horizons mission revealed interesting pieces of the climate and occasional changes on this planet. Pluto, which orbits neglected distant regions of the Kuiper Belt, has a climate, a thin layer of nitrogen, methane, and carbon monoxide that changes drastically depending on how close or far Pluto is from the Sun. The changes affect the environment as well as the surface conditions of the dwarf planet. One particularly bright aspect of the natural variables is snow on Pluto. This snow contains primarily frozen nitrogen and methane. Unlike Earth, where snow forms only from water, the extremely low temperatures on Pluto cause the more unstable gases nitrogen and methane to accumulate and fall as remarkable snow. All of these associations shape and invigorate Pluto's surface by covering the landscape with new deposits. These disturbances drive other geological developments, like cold movement and perhaps cryovolcanic cycles. The New Horizons research also showed that these seasonal cycles are closely tied to barometric pressure. When Pluto is nearest to the Sun, the little light is enough to heat up the dwarf planet's atmosphere, causing it to expand slightly and rise. When Pluto moves farther from the Sun again, the environment freezes and sinks back to the surface. This idiosyncrasy leads to a striking anomaly. When Pluto's environment gathers, it could literally snow, with snow made of nitrogen and methane. The variations in surface brightness and the distribution of coal deposits further suggest that practically all surface features, and thus scenes on Pluto, are connected to these environmental cycles. Since Pluto's mountains are not made of rock but of ice, which is entirely versatile on this world, the whole surface moves significantly more than that of our Earth, for example. What does Pluto's heart contain? Who might have guessed that Pluto's heart isn't simply a warm engraving? In spite of its distinctive appearance, this region is also perhaps one of the most astounding districts on Pluto. Previously considered Sputnik Planitia, the Sputnik Planitia region is named after the first artificial satellite, Sputnik 1, which the Soviet Union sent into space in 1957. This huge, heart-shaped ice surface extends across an area of around 1,000 kilometers and consists mainly of nitrogen ice, with traces of frozen methane and carbon monoxide. The bright, almost perfect surface of Sputnik Planitia forms a sharp contrast to the darker, more complicated areas around it. Geographically, Sputnik Planitia is a colossal impact structure that was most likely later modified by volcanic cycles, not by the standard volcanic movement on Earth where magma rises from the planet's interior. Volcanism on Pluto involves cold materials rising from the dwarf planet's interior to the surface. The heat sources inside Pluto cause nitrogen and other volatile substances to heat up and push upwards, where they freeze and form special arrangements like this one. Sputnik Planitia is strikingly level, which leads researchers to believe that the frozen surface is constantly being renewed by internal cycles. It's likely convection processes inside the ice sheet that form these scenes. Researchers anticipate that there may be a range of liquid water beneath the smooth ice sheet of Sputnik Planitia, which is kept liquid by the heat inside Pluto. Researchers wonder whether forms of life can exist in the subglacial ocean, but it's not entirely impossible. Sharon, what role does Sharon play? What barely anyone knew is that before the New Horizons mission, Pluto had its own moon, and not just one. Sharon is Pluto's biggest moon and was discovered in 1978 by the American astronomer James Christie. Sharon is extremely large in comparison with Pluto, with a diameter about half of Pluto. This has led to a significant association between Pluto and Sharon, where the two objects are tidally locked, meaning that Pluto and Sharon always show the same side to one another. Sharon's surface is also incredibly unique compared to Pluto's, with huge cliffs and massive impact craters. Researchers believe that Pluto and Sharon have been trading materials in the form of comet-like objects. Pluto, once considered the 10th planet in our solar system, has long captured the imagination of astronomers, scientists, and the general public alike. Discovered in 1930 by astronomer Clyde Tombaugh, it remained as an image of planetary investigation and mystery. Anyway, in 2006, the International Astronomical Union (IAU) renamed Pluto as a dwarf planet, starting discussions and debates. Nonetheless, this change didn't stop Pluto from continuing to interest scientists and enthusiasts who wanted to learn more about this far-off object on the edge of our solar system. NASA's new warnings about Pluto's true essence, encapsulated in the phrase "Pluto isn't your thought process," are now drawing renewed attention to the puzzling scene. This phrase, often combined with compelling statements about the dwarf planet's intricacy and importance, hints at discoveries that have emerged through the latest missions, observations, and research. While many aspects of Pluto's composition have been confirmed over the years, there remains a continually developing understanding of its secrets that confound our assumptions. Through NASA's investigation of Pluto, especially by the New Horizons mission, we are learning like never before. In this article, we will explore the latest discoveries, scientific advancements, and the growing impression of Pluto as a planetary body. From its dubious renaming as a dwarf planet to the current discoveries about its formation, atmosphere, and potential for future exploration, we will examine how NASA's research is continuing to reshape our understanding of this cold world at the far reaches of our solar system. NASA's ongoing exploration of Pluto has sparked even greater interest in its role within our solar system. Although the debate over whether Pluto should be classified as a planet continues, the discoveries made by the New Horizons probe continue to challenge our preconceptions about this distant world. Scientists now consider Pluto's features far more dynamic and intriguing than they once believed, revealing complex geological and atmospheric processes that hint at a world far more active than previously expected. One of the most surprising revelations is the discovery of a unique and diverse atmosphere around Pluto. Despite its distance from the Sun, Pluto possesses an atmosphere composed mainly of nitrogen, with traces of methane and carbon monoxide. This atmosphere is far from static. It undergoes significant seasonal changes, expanding when Pluto is closest to the Sun and contracting when it moves farther away. These fluctuations play a role in the planet's weather patterns, creating dramatic shifts in temperature and atmospheric pressure. During its closest approach to the Sun, Pluto experiences a period of sublimation, where gases on its surface transform directly from solid to gas due to the heat. This causes nitrogen snowflakes to fall, which then reshapes the surface, contributing to the fascinating landscape seen by the New Horizons mission. Another groundbreaking discovery involved the realization that Pluto's icy surface may be hiding more than just frozen nitrogen. The evidence suggests that Pluto has a warm, perhaps even liquid, interior. Beneath its icy exterior, there could be an underground ocean or pockets of liquid water, sustained by heat from the planet's core. This possibility raises the question of whether there is potential for life, albeit in a form unlike what we are familiar with on Earth. The geology on Pluto, including features such as cryovolcanism, suggests the presence of active internal processes, driven by this internal heat. Cryovolcanism, or cold volcanism, is a process where instead of molten rock, ice and other volatile compounds are expelled from the planet's interior, creating features similar to volcanic landscapes on Earth, but with entirely different materials. In addition to these geological and atmospheric phenomena, Pluto's interaction with its largest moon, Charon, adds another layer of intrigue. The two bodies are tidally locked, meaning they always show the same face to one another. This connection suggests a deep gravitational relationship that has shaped both Pluto and Charon over billions of years. Charon's surface, which is characterized by deep canyons and ancient craters, offers further evidence of the planet's long geological history and its complex evolution. The ongoing exchange of material between Pluto and Charon, driven by their mutual gravity, indicates a dynamic system in which both bodies have likely influenced each other's geological developments over time. Pluto's mysteries continue to captivate astronomers, with the latest findings challenging long-held ideas and providing new avenues for exploration. While it may no longer be considered a full-fledged planet, its significance in the broader context of the solar system is undeniable. As NASA's research into Pluto continues, it will likely unveil even more surprises that could reshape our understanding of the outer reaches of our solar system. Whether or not Pluto regains its status as a planet, its story is far from over, and its true nature continues to unfold in exciting ways.